Good afternoon, all my friends. I hope all of you are well and safe. Also, today is the 25th of Vesak month. I express all of you for happy Vesak month. Generally, it is very important to do practice in our daily life, particularly during the Vesak month, during the day of turning wheel of Dharma, a full moon day, also last of the month. So it is very important to do puja in our daily life. Whether we want or not, definitely one day, so we all have to leave this world. Definitely, we have to separate from our friends, relatives, all our dear and near one. There's no choice. So we have to leave this world. We have to separate with our friends. After we leave this world, after we died, if there's no next life, then we no need to worry about next life. Then we no need to worry about accumulating merit, purifying negative karmas. Still, if we have only one life, for example, according to Christian tradition, Islamic tradition, they believe only one life. If we have only one life, still we need to do meditation to control our negative minds, to generate the positive minds. Many people say to you, or you also say to your friends, I'm not happy today. If somebody asks why you are not happy today, I don't think anybody is going to say because I'm very hungry, because I don't have a good breakfast, good lunch and dinner. I don't think you're going to say I'm not happy because I don't have a clothes to wear. Definitely you're going to say, oh, I'm not happy because I fight with someone. Somebody fight with me. I argue with someone. Somebody argue with me. I criticize someone. Somebody criticize me. That means you are saying I'm not happy because the anger. Therefore, if there's no next life, still we need to practice the Dharma. We need to do, meditation to control the negative thoughts, try to have a calm and peaceful mind. When the mind becomes very peace, calm, everything becomes very peaceful. Everything becomes very calm, and you can see the calmness and the peacefulness is always around us. If our mind cannot be calm, we don't have the inner peace, then nothing can become very calm and peaceful. Therefore, we need to do meditation. If there's no next life, then we no need to worry about purifying negative karma, accumulating merits. But based on logics and reasoning, I can say it is look like there will be a next life. It doesn't look like there was my previous life. So if there's a next life, what we can prepare for next life? Can we prepare a lot of food and clothes, house and car, money to bring to next life? Somebody said, yes, I want. But until today, we have been seeing the people who pass away, the people who died. They didn't bring anything. They're not able to bring any piece of clothes, any piece of food, any sense, even 1 cent of money. They cannot go with one of the, dearest friend. They went alone without any physical things. Even though very powerful king, according to, Chinese culture, we know in the past, in China, there were so many powerful kings who has all the powers. The Genghis Khan, the Mongolian king, he was one of the powerful king in the Asian country. Maybe he's one of the most powerful king, ruler on the planets. When he died alone. He could not bring anything. So we also go that way, same ways. Therefore, in our daily life, of course, we have to do so many things for our survive. So we have to do so many things to support the friends and families. Whenever we have a little free time, don't just, chit-chat your friends. Don't just, watch all kinds of movie, YouTube, news, nonsense books. Just be quiet somewhere, even though on the MRT, on the bus, in the taxi, just you do your recitation, chanting very quietly. So when you are alone in a house, you should not feel I'm lonely, I'm alone. If you have a lonely feeling, it makes you very unhappy. It causes you to bring a lot of negative thoughts. When you are alone in your home, I know most of you, stay alone. So when you're alone, it's a good time to reading Dharma books, do meditation, do chanting, do recitation, do prostration, do, manner offerings. But this thing, the merit which we have accumulated through these activities, they practice. So when we go, the positive actions are the, kind of the most important things we can carry, we can use for our next life. Therefore, for the Vesamman, we still have another 5 days. Everybody continuously do, more Dharma practice, do more control your minds, do more meditations. So, because we are still, celebrating Vesak month, so Vesak month is very important to multiply our positive actions. Also, at the same time, we must realize all the negative karma also going to multiply. So I urge all of you to, continuously practice the Dharma according to Buddha teachings, according to, Indian Narendra masters. Don't just follow, whoever teach you how to practice Dharma. You must practice Dharma according to Buddha teaching, according to Narendra master, according to Lama Tsong-kha-pa, according to Chandrakirti, Nagachuna. If you strictly follow those teaching never lead you to in the wrong directions. If you follow, all kinds of teachers, all kinds of books, I'm not saying these particular books. There's a lot of books which looks very nice, look very interesting. If you follow these books, you're not going to reach, nirvana. Instead, you're going to reach to hell being, hungry ghosts, hungry realms. Therefore, when you practice Dharma, make sure you are, strictly follow the Buddha, follow the qualified teachers, follow the, authentic, Buddha teachings. Because actually we are very ordinary, very simple person. We don't have a lot of, big business. We don't have so many things around us. We are very simple person, very simple. But our motivation is not simple as our life. Our motivation, our intention is mainly to benefit all sentient beings. That means in each of us, when we do practice chanting, we are look like king of the human beings. We are look like king of the sentient beings. So because we really, visual all sentient beings, so we doing all the chanting recitation to benefit for them. Also, when we do practice, at the beginning, we generate bodhicitta. Also, our achievement, our aims is like a Buddhahood, completely free from suffering, completely, achieve all the good qualities. Our love is very simple, but our motivation, our goals is very high. Our motivation is very great. Therefore, being is, look like, physically, we are very simple person. If somebody can see our motivation and our achievement, which we wish to achieve, then somebody feel, very amazed about us. So this is the main kind of cause you protect by all the Dharma protectors. The motivation, which is the bodhicitta, is the most important cause to admire from all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So the motivation, which is the bodhicitta, is the most important minds for purifying negative karmas, purifying negative action, negative karma, also negative thoughts, particularly the self-centered attitude, the self-cherishing attitudes. So every day, everybody practice bodhicitta. Based on bodhicitta, then we must start our daily practice, recitation, sadhana, prostration. While we are doing prostration, the bodhicitta must be there. While we are making offering, making a flower offering, candlelight, incense, the bodhicitta always must be there. The analogy, the mother who lost, one of the loving, only one child. The mother has only one child, which is the mother very much loved the child. When the child died, the mother always remembered the child while she was taking shower, while she's eating food, talking to someone. She always remembered, her lost child. Therefore, we must practice bodhicitta every day. Sometimes, when being so busy, we forgot bodhicitta, then you regenerate bodhicitta. That means your life, you with the bodhicitta for 24 hours. The bodhicitta must be with you for 24 hours. Even though when you are, on the toilet, you are sitting on the toilet bowl, still you can really generate bodhicitta, generate, love and compassion. This is, I want to say, beginning of the class, because we are still, on the Vesak month. Then achieving Buddhahood. It's not easy at all. Because today we have a pure compassion. In the morning, we had very pure compassion. The afternoon, the compassion become biased compassion. So we're not able to cultivate love and compassion continuously because we are facing so many problems within the family, in the society. It's not easy to practice love and compassion continuously for 24 hours. There are so many obstacles. Still, we should not, give up to practice, should not give up practicing love and compassion, bodhicitta. Second, it is not easy at all to achieve Buddhahood because first, we need to stop accumulating negative karmas. If we're not able to stop accumulating negative karmas, then we always bound in samsara. So in order to stop, stopping the negative karma, second, we need to stop. We need to control the negative thoughts, particularly attachment, desire, anger. For us, the anger arises sometime. Sometime we know we didn't have any anger towards anybody for 1 week or 1 month. But still, we've forgotten, we have a, kind of sense of hatred. We don't have anger, but still in the deep down, the hatred is there. It's not easy to control the hatred. If you compare, which is, more often arises in our mind, which is, often arise anger or attachment, definitely the attachment. So our mind always with the attachment always with our mind. So controlling attachment, not easy at all. You don't have an attachment about yourself. Your mind don't get attached towards you. You're okay. You can let it go, attachment about you. You don't have much attachment over your belongings. But if you are mother, if you are father, you have a very strong attachment towards your children. If you are uncle and auntie, you have so many strong attachment towards your relatives. So attachment is look like, apply oil on the paper. When the paper is, fully cooked in the oil, fully apply oil, you try to write something on the paper on it, you cannot, because the oil is so deep and so strong. Therefore, when we try to practice Dharma look like writing a sentence on the oil paper. Not easy. So in order to write a sentence on the oil paper, first we need to, clean the paper, clean the oil, try to have a clean paper, then we can write. If you have very strong attachment, then it becomes very obstacle to practice Dharma. In order to control attachment, anger, desire, hatred, all the negative thoughts, then we need to control the ignorance. Ignorance. Ignorance, there's two kinds of ignorance. One is the innate ignorance. It's with us for many aeons. When we are human, the innate ignorance there. So when we were animal like a cow and sheep, so the innate ignorance there. There's second there's another types of ignorance. Mainly is influence, arise based on religion, tenets. Among these two ignorance, the root of the samsara, the root of the negative thoughts is the innate ignorance. Within the innate ignorance, there's two kinds, right? We already study about the two kinds of ignorance. Ignorant of the phenomena, ignorant about the self and I. Both of ignorant also root of the samsara, the view of perishing aggregates is also the root of the samsara. Then you must remember the two ignorance. One is cause, one is effect. The ignorance of the phenomena is the cause. It causes to arise ignorance of self. Then based on these two ignorance, all the attachment, anger arise, and all the negative karma caused by these thoughts. Therefore, the sufferings, the samsara, sadness, unhappiness, everything actually rooted by the innate ignorance. Okay? Therefore, first everybody visualize Buddha Shakyamuni according to the picture of the Buddha Shakyamuni from Bodh Gaya. So we have seen so many Buddha's statues, image, thanga, photo. Oh, my class, so sorry, it's calling from India. So please visualize Buddha Shakyamuni according to the image from Bodh Gaya. So many of you visited Bodh Gaya maybe once or a few times. When we enter the main temple, when you see the Buddha, we have a very different kinds of feeling. Somebody you really tear comes, your mind is really moved. You totally become different. If you are very angry, you just visit the Bodh Gaya temple, see the Buddha, for the short time, the anger, going to disappear. So it has a very, very special kind of, you can say, energy. So here I tell you very interesting story. There was a Tibetan monk. His name was Gendun Chenmo. When he was little boy in Amdo, I think particularly Ripsa, When he was a little boy, he was very intelligent, very, very intelligent. When he was a little boy, he learned so many ritual and chanting, just stayed next to his father. Very little boy. Then he became a monk at the Geshe Monastery in Amdo. Within a short time, he became very famous in literature, writing poems, arts, debating, very famous. Then he moved to Drepung Monastery. In Drepung, he studied, I think, maybe like 6-7 years. For the 6-7 years, he became very master in all the Buddhist logics and reasoning, Pramana, Madhyamaka, so and so. Then somehow he came to India. He stayed in India for only 1 year. Within 1 year, he became master in English. He was very famous in Tibetan society. He was a monk, and later he disrobed. He was like a Buddhist monk. Also, he's more like a scientist person. He said, when I visit Bodh Gaya, the temple, see the Buddha, every time when I see the Buddha, I totally forgot who I am. I totally forgot all the busyness, all the negative thoughts. He said, the Buddha has a very kind of spiritual blessing, or we can call energy. Therefore, if you are able to visualize the Buddha, then you can have same kind of feeling. Therefore, first visualize the Buddha Shakyamuni according to the statue, the picture at the Bodh Gaya. Then just think the Buddha Shakyamuni, which is you visualize in front of you. Many, many years ago, like he was same sentient being as me, right? Also, he used to have all the negative thoughts. He was very angry person, very jealous person, very short temper. He has all kinds of suffering as I have. He wasn't Buddha at the beginning. He was just ordinary prince, Siddhartha. Then through study, meditation, meditate on the Four Noble Truths, particularly impermanence, emptiness. Then he controlled ignorance, affect emotions, karma, practice bodhicitta. Then within the 6 years, he became a Buddha. He became fully enlightened person. In the same way, I want to be Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Therefore, today I will practice, meditate on Four Noble Truths, particularly the emptiness and bodhicitta. Therefore, I need to realize emptiness. Because the wisdom which is realize emptiness, is the opposite of the ignorance. I want to realize emptiness, to eliminate ignorance. Emptiness of the phenomena around us. First, everybody visualize the moon reflection in a water. The water is so clean. You can see clearly the image of the moon in the water. The shape, the color is exactly the same as the real moon. Now please do analyzing the image of the moon in the water. When the water little bit move, the image of the moon in the water is moves. When you look very closely, analyze the water, you cannot see the water and the image is totally separate. Without water, you cannot have the image of the moon. Without the moon, you cannot have the image of the moon in the water. Therefore, the water and the image of the moon in the water is interdependence. The moon exists, established in the water, only merely depend on causes condition, particularly water. The moon in the water is not there as an independent image of the moon. The moon is there, depend on many causes and conditions. Therefore, the moon in the water, the image of the moon in the water is totally empty of independent existence. The image of the moon in the water, not there as an intrinsic existence. Next, same idea we can apply with the chariot. Chariot also we can use as a car. When we look at the car, we can say there's a car. It's true, there's a car. When you reach too close to the car, still you can see the car. But the out body is not a car. When you enter in the car, also, the string, the gear, none of the thing is not a car. The wheels, the engines, all parts of the, pieces of the car is not a car. Without each of the parts, you cannot establish there's a car. That means the car is there only merely depending on many causes conditions, particularly many parts. Many parts compound together, put together, that there's a phenomena. The phenomena, we just designate it. We designate as a car, since the thing became a car. Without designation, there's no car. Without all the parts, there's no car. Therefore, the car is merely designated from our thoughts based on the many parts. Therefore, the car is totally empty or independent existence, totally empty of inherent existence. None of the things exist inherently, independently. Likewise, that same way, now we reflect on, our five aggregates. When we say I, first everybody try to recognize where is the I. In your head, yes, someday we feel I'm in my head. Someday we feel I'm in my heart. When you analyze actually where I am, then sometimes we establish I as a physical body, based on the body. Therefore we say I'm fat, I'm skinny, I'm slim, I'm black, I'm white. Therefore, I, designated based on the physical body. Not only physical body, also I designated based on feeling or mind. When I say I'm happy, that means you're expressing, about your feeling. When you have a pleasant feeling, they say, I'm very happy. When you have a very unpleasant feeling, then you say, I'm not happy. Therefore, that time we designated I based on feeling. Also, sometimes we say, oh, I'm very ignorant. Oh, you are very intelligent. Oh, I am very intelligent. We never say, I have an intelligent mind. We say, I'm very intelligent. Also, we designated I based on the mind. Therefore, based on the five aggregates, we designated as a human being, as a individual. For example, my name is Lobsang Yonten. When I was born, I wasn't Lobsang Yonten. I was just baby, small little baby. I wasn't become Yonten. Second, my parents give a name as a Lobsang Yonten. Since the baby became Yonten, there's no any reason, there's no any purpose to I'm to be Yonten, right? Therefore, I or me, we really establish, designated based on five aggregates. But for us, until we study the wisdom chapter, until we study about the dependent arising, interdependency, for us, the five aggregates exist inherently, independently. Therefore, we cannot really realize the actual truth of I, actual truth of me, because we confuse the basis of I. We confuse the basis of labeling as a me and mine. Right? Therefore, we need to eliminate ignorance. That's a too important. One, we need to identify the object of negation. So when we think about object of negation, the word is so heavy words we don't understand. What does mean negation? Mean the independent phenomena is the negation. independent book, independent body, independent food. These are the negation we need to negate. Independent, right? Independent books, independent like me, independent house, independent cars. Those is the negation we need to negate. Right? So negation. So today we study a little bit about negation. So you can, if you have a books, if you have a soft copy, page number 659. So it's a Tibetan. 210. There's a quotation from Buddha Palita. Question: now illustrate the absence of wrong views using the scripture that accord with the vehicle of Sharvaka. Right? So this means, according to Prasangika point of view, whether you are bodhisattvas or hearer or solitary realizer, you need to realize emptiness. Without realize emptiness, you cannot achieve liberation, because ignorance is the first among the 12. And ignorance is the afflictive obscuration, not the cognitive obscuration. Therefore, hearer, solitary realizer, bodhisattva equally have to realize emptiness, because ignorance is the first among the 12. The wrong view using scripture accord with the vehicle of Charvaka. These statements make it clear that the master Buddha Pali also asserts that the ignorance, which is the first of the 12 factors of the dependent arising in the superimposition of the intrinsic nature on the thing, and that even though Charvaka and Pratika Buddha know the set lessons of object. Therefore, you should understand that the great proof of showing that Charvaka and Pratika Buddha know the object lack intrinsic nature is the fact that the conception of an objective set is a content as the ignorant. That is among the 12 factors of dependent arisings. If you can't remember all this sentence, I know you cannot remember. Very simple, you think, in order to achieve liberation, I need to realize emptiness. Of course, in order to achieve Buddhahood, definitely I need to realize emptiness, plus I need to practice bodhicitta. Even though Charvaka, Pratika Buddha, they are only seeking self-liberation, they also need to realize emptiness. Here we are not, interfering, about others. So when we listen this kind of sentence, is Lama Tsong-kha-pa, Buddha Palita, Chandrakirti, Nagarjuna, they are saying to us, if you don't want sufferings, control all the afflictive thoughts, all the afflictive emotions and karma. In order to control them, you need to control ignorance. You need to eliminate ignorance. Ignorance you cannot eliminate as a destroying pots using hammer. Remember this sentence. So, in order to eliminate ignorance, we need to recognize the nature of ignorance. What does mean ignorance? Ignorance is a mind which is concept thing as a independent. Ignorance is a mind which is superimposed intrinsic nature on all the things. All the things, do not exist intrinsically, but the ignorant impose, put a extra quality as an intrinsic existence. So we must think, oh, I need to realize emptiness. Because I don't want sufferings. Right? Second stanza or paragraph, Aryadeva, 400 stanza says, conceptuality ceases and you are bound. It should be stopped here. Right? That means why we are in samsara, why we have all these problems and suffering, why we have. Then according to other religion tradition like Christian, like Islam, Hindu, Jewish, all my sufferings, given by the Creator, the God. All my happiness, therefore when they feel happy, they say, thanks God. Right? Thanks God. For us, we're not going to say, we should not say, oh, I'm today very happy, thanks Buddha. Oh, today I'm very, unhappy, I have all kinds of problems, I'm so sorry, Buddha. We should not say. We should say, oh, today I'm very happy because of my karma, because of my, minds, controlling negative karma, controlling the negative thoughts, that I'm very happy. So your happiness in your hands. Many of our sufferings in our hands we can control, right? Therefore, what Aryadeva says, conceptuality ceases and you are bound. The conceptual mind, particularly the ignorance cease. What does ignorance cease? See, ignorance see or ignorant perceived, concept, thing as an independent. Therefore, you are bound in samsara. If you don't want to stay in samsara, you don't want suffering. Therefore, you need to stop ignorance. Then nobody can bound you in samsara. You should stop here. Even though conceptuality mentioned in the statement does not refer to all conceptual consciousness whatsoever. So this is a very important, debate, because many of the, Kagyupa masters, Nyingma master, I'm not saying all, many of, Nyingma, Kagyupa masters saying, the conceptual thoughts is really bound in samsara. We need to eliminate all the conceptual thoughts. This is from the view from some of the Kagyu and Nyingma master. Therefore, Lama Tsong-kha-pa very much emphasized here about the conceptual. Even though conceptuality mentioned in the statement does not refer to all conceptual, because the sentence right from the 400 stanza says, conceptuality ceases and you are bound. This conceptual does not refer to all conceptual consciousness whatsoever, but rather to conceptual consciousness that superimpose essential existence on the phenomenon. Then another sentence from the 100 Stanza says, a conceptual consciousness superimpose an incorrect sense of intense existence. Further, he said there is a afflictive ignorance. Therefore, ignorant, perceive things as independent. I told you the true story, right? True story. I told you last time the true child. One child realized the fact, like a candy as a fact. Other child doesn't realize the fact candy as a fact. Therefore, the child who doesn't realize the fact candy as a fact, that child very much fight about the fact candy. That child have an attachment to it. When he doesn't get, he get angry. Other child, he are not interested about the fact candy because he already realized it's not real. It's not real. No, it's real. So we are like a child who haven't realized the fact candy as a fact. Here I will tell you a very funny story based on our experience, me and my friends. I went to United States in 2000 with a group of monks. We are 10 monks. In India, we didn't see in effect fruits, apple, orange, mango. We had never seen the fact, the fruits. When we saw, in the cafeteria, the school or college cafeterias, they put a lot of artificial fruits. We really thought it's a real fruits, real mango, real banana, real apple. We didn't know. Then slowly we learn those are not real as a fact. But we didn't know there's a fake bread. Like a fake bread, artificial bread. Then one of my colleague or friend, he doesn't want to eat rice. He want to eat bread. He collect the fake bread. He tried to break. He could not. It's so strong. He asked me. Usually he said, "Genla, Gen, I cannot break the bread. Can I help you to break?" I didn't think it's a fact. I tried to break. I cannot. Then I noticed it's a fact. Until then look at the monk, me, we really want to eat the bread. We really want to break the bread. When we realize it is not real, it's a fact, all the desire, attachment, finish. Remember for the sutra, the illusory woman. Right? So we are look like a child. We don't realize the reality. Let's say, these two nights, everybody realize emptiness. Next morning, when you wake up, when you look around, you're totally free. No attachment to something, no anger, no ego, no pride. Look like, wow, it's so nice. Right? So we should think, I need to realize, not just need, I can realize emptiness. Not I can, definitely, I can realize emptiness. You remember I said realizing emptiness looks very difficult. When you study extensively, put a lot of effort, we can realize emptiness. For us, it's quite easy to practice bodhicitta, practice love and compassion, look very easy. When you actually practice love and compassion, not easy at all. Because every steps, when you're moving here and there, you can see many different people. Somebody show you very kind heart, somebody show you angry face. So not easy to really practice love and compassion bodhicitta. Emptiness, when you realize wherever you go, for you everything is same. Bodhicitta, love and compassion. You practice compassion towards A, Mr. A, you cannot practice Mr. B. You practice love and compassion towards Mr. B, you cannot A. Bodhicitta, emptiness, when you realize emptiness of Mr. A, when you look at Mr. B, for you same. Therefore, we must think, I need to realize, I want to realize, definitely I can. Right? Therefore, this is an important sentence. Why we need to realize emptiness. The conceptual consciousness superimposed in incorrect sense of intrinsic existence. Further, he has said, that is the afflicted ignorance. Hence, while there are those who claim the recent refute the object of every conceptual consciousness, that thing, there's such as and such, they do not detail investigate, they do not detail investigation of the matter. So some conceptual thought we must eliminate. We must refute, like ignorance, attachment, anger, desire, ego. Those are conceptual thoughts we must refute. Particularly, ignorance is the conceptual consciousness we must. But we should not refute all kinds of conceptual minds which we have. If we refute all conceptual thoughts, then what happened? What's the problem? Next sentence, if it were otherwise, then since for ordinary beings like us, since for ordinary beings, the meaning of reality refers to emptiness. It's hidden. They would have no way of apprehending the meaning of emptiness with non-conceptual consciousness. Right? For us, when you look at around you, you cannot see things. For example, when I look at the water bottle, I can see the bottle. It's not hidden for us. We can see through our eyes, non-conceptual mind. When you see the impermanence of the cup, the gross impermanence you can see, the color has changed, the cup become old, more older. It has some kind of, like mark. We can see the gross impermanence through our non-conceptual minds. But the subtle impermanence, we cannot. Particularly emptiness of this cup, we cannot see through our eyes. We cannot hear through our air consciousness. Then what is the way we can realize the emptiness of the cup? Because we need to rely on the conceptual mind. First, because the emptiness is hidden. Hidden doesn't mean somebody hide. So difficult to, apprehend. We cannot apprehend through our non-conceptual thoughts. We have to rely on the conceptual thoughts to apprehend the emptiness. Because emptiness is hidden, means it's difficult to realize. meaning of emptiness with the non-conceptual consciousness. Also, if the object of every conceptual consciousness were contradicted by reason, then even the object of certain knowledge would be like the intrinsic nature superimposed by mistaking wrong consciousness. This would be simply that there's no corrective view leading to the state of nirvana, whereby it would be the pointless to do any study or reflection on the Madhyamaka texts. So here what you think, very simple. There can be two kinds of conceptual thoughts. One, we need to refute, we need to eliminate, we don't want. Also, there are so many conceptual consciousness we need for the time being. For example, when you study about the Madhyamaka, about the logic reasoning, but you are studying about logics and reasoning, use the logic and reasoning, try to understand the reality. That time you are analyzing, try to realize the emptiness through the conceptual mind. If there are no conceptual mind, then there's no point to study Madhyamaka, because the main point, the main reason to study Madhyamaka is for realizing emptiness. That means, so some conceptual thoughts we don't want, we need to stop, we need to eliminate. Some conceptual mind, conceptual consciousness is very important, we need for the time being. Time being means, first, you realize emptiness through the conceptual minds, then you meditate on the emptiness based on the conceptual mind for many years. Then slowly the conceptual, the image, the mental image, going to be disappear. Then the conceptual mind transform into non-conceptual mind. Then you can perceive emptiness directly. Then all the mental conceptual consciousness can be transformed into non-conceptual. But attachment, anger, ignorance are conceptual consciousness. Those minds cannot transform into non-conceptual minds. Clear? Okay. Then, so I will finish, I think what time is it now? It's 4, okay, we still have a time. Next paragraph. There's another quotation from the 400 stanza says, seeing what is not emptiness as if it were emptiness, I will attain nirvana, but they will not, tathagatas said that. That means seeing what is not empty as if it is were empty. So when you look at the phenomena, for us, all the phenomena not look like empty or intrinsic existence. Therefore, we cannot achieve nirvana. When we realize that things are not look like empty of independent existence, when we realize actually they are empty, then we can achieve nirvana. So when we think that way, in one way, we are in samsara forever because we didn't realize emptiness. In another way, when you think, actually things are empty of inherent existence, if I realize the emptiness, then for you, achieving nirvana is very fast. Just, we need to change our concept. So far, we have a tendency for many, many eons to perceive things as independent. When we change the concept, whatever comes to you, whatever perceived to you, if you realize those are totally empty of inherent existence, then nirvana is next to you. Therefore, you can see, in the Tibet, there are so many practitioners who achieve Buddhahood within one lifetime, particularly Milarepa. How he, achieved liberation without very fast. He totally changed the concept of the phenomena. For example, you and your friends both, walking to, Bukit Timah Hill, top of the Bukit Timah Hill. Both of you start from your home, you and your friends. On the way, there are so many artificial food, artificial flower, artificial fruits, artificial human being. Then you didn't realize, haven't realized those are not real. So while you are walking, your mind is attached to the fruits, attached to the food, attached to the artificial human being. Then you take long time to reach to the Bukit Timah. Your friend, he or she realized, oh, those are not really real. So he doesn't have any destructive thoughts, destruction. When he straight away walk towards the Bukit Timah because his perception is different than you. Right? Therefore, I said, when we need to practice Dharma according to Buddha teaching, according to Indian master, according to Lama Tsong-kha-pa. Don't follow, all the nonsense teachers, nonsense like a master. Therefore, if you look at very simple, realizing emptiness, liberation there. No realizing emptiness, you are always in samsara. We need to know this point. Therefore, next here, seeing what is not emptiness as if it were emptiness. I think this sentence, I'm not sure, I checked, some says, I will attain nirvana, but they will not, because they cannot realize emptiness as emptiness. We realize emptiness as emptiness, we can achieve liberation, nirvana. Based on just this, the different object of the view that ignorance apprehend the thing as explained above. Essential school, Buddhist and non-Buddhist refer many different things. When you negate the different ignorance, cognitive process, you completely stop all these tenets, deriving reification, as though you cut the tree at its root. Therefore, those who have the faculty of the wisdom, this is saying to us, those who have the faculty of the wisdom should understand that the referent object of innate ignorance is the basic object of negation, and you should not, devote themselves merely refuting the imaginary constructed that are inputted only by advocates of the philosophical tenets. What here saying, all the, the wrong views we have actually rooted by the innate ignorance. So we need to refute the referent object of ignorance. What is the referent object? Again, very simple, that the independent phenomena, independent books, independent person. We need to refute this. If you refute, then all the wrong views are going to stop. Therefore, those who have the faculty of wisdom, those who have a wisdom should understand that the referent object of innate ignorance, innate means is not really influenced by religion, influenced by different kind of tenets. Since we were born with the innate ignorance. In the previous slide, we have the innate ignorance exists for all sentient beings. Therefore, we call innate. Other ignorance, mainly influenced by different tenets, different schools, different religions. Different object in ignorance is basic object of negation and should not devote themselves merely to refuting the imaginary construct that are inputted. That means we need to refute the different object of the innate ignorance, not the other ignorance. Right? So there's two kinds of ignorance. One is the innate, one is, we can have based on like tenets and like a different religion. Different tenets, different religions. Refuting the object of negation in this way is not ideal pursuit. You see that living beings are bound in secular existence by the wrong conceptual consciousness that has the object of negation as its object, and you then refute its object. What bends all living beings in the secular existence is innate ignorance. That means not the acute ignorance exists only among those who devocate philosophical view tenets. So it cannot be the root of secular existence. It is extremely important to gain the specific certain knowledge of the point. So this one, I think, so we have studied quite a few classes about identify object of the negation, then also identify the ignorance, how to stop ignorance, how to realize emptiness. There are a few things are very important. I think we can stop here. We can have a Q&A. Also, if there I need to clarify, please feel free. So, if you don't, ask question, if you have a doubt, if you confuse, if you don't understand, please feel free ask a question. Right? So when I answer, you listen my answers, you listen and you check my answer is according to Lamrim, according to Indian master, according to Buddha teaching or not. You should not think what I answer, you should not think everything is correct. Right? So therefore it is so important to have a discussion, to have a question. So please feel free, have a question. If there is anything I need to clarify, please feel free to ask me to clarify, clarification.
Brothers and sisters, we are now open for Q&A. So if you have questions, you may unmute yourselves and ask questions, or you may type it in the chat room, or you can directly open your mics to ask questions. We have a question from Christine Liu. Christine, please.
Geshe La,
Yes.
is it right to say that we have to rely on conceptual thoughts to realize emptiness because the emptiness, is a hidden phenomena? Is it right to say that?
Yes, it is very correct to say we have to realize, for example, main point what we need to know, ignorance is the root of the samsara. Ignorance, the innate ignorance is the root to arise all the affected emotions. So we need to stop ignorance, right? So here I think all of you must remember, we already studied the antidotes, said by Buddha, something individually. For example, antidotes to eliminate anger can eliminate anger, not attachment. The antidotes to eliminate for eliminating attachment can eliminate attachment, not anger. The antidotes which is set for eliminating ignorance can eliminate all the emotions. Right? Therefore, we need to eliminate, stop ignorance. How we should stop ignorance, how we can. Then we need a wisdom. We need a very particular wisdom, which is realize emptiness. So we need to realize emptiness. So how I can realize emptiness? Because I cannot see emptiness around me. I can see books and statue and picture and flower. I can see this thing. I cannot see emptiness. I cannot see the sudden impermanence. Now how I can realize? It is not just enough to believe there's emptiness. It is not sufficient to believe there's an impermanence, there's a next life. We need to realize. We need to cognize. How we can cognize? Therefore, you are right, we say, all the direct perception, we have eyes consciousness, air consciousness, nose consciousness, the five faculty, those are direct perception. Through any of the five direct perception, we cannot realize emptiness. Therefore, the best, we need to rely on the conceptual consciousness to realize emptiness, because emptiness is the hidden phenomenon. Yes, you are correct.
Next is a question from the chat room. Brother Sukim, please hold on here. A question from the chat room. If there a difference between the wisdom of emptiness realized by Sravakas, Pratika Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas? The question is there a difference between the wisdom of emptiness realized by Sravakas, Pratika Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas? Is there a difference, Geshe-la? If so, if there is a difference, what are the quantitative difference? What are the quantitative difference?
Okay, so here we need to know two different, traditions. According to the Pasangika tradition, according to Pasangika point of view, the Pratika Buddha, Charvaka, Bodhisattva, they must realize emptiness. The concept of emptiness, there's no differences between any of the, realizing by any of the three of them. The wisdom are same, emptiness are same, there's no growth and subtle, it's exactly same from the Pasangika point of view. Then below the Pasangika point of view, the Charvaka and Pratika Buddha realize selflessness, not the emptiness. According to below the Pasangika, below the school or from the Pasangika point of view, from them view, selflessness and emptiness is different. Then first you remember, okay, according to the Pasangika point of view, there's no difference, any difference in emptiness between three of them. The wisdom, emptiness are exactly same, have to be same. Because the ignorant, the innate ignorance is the root of the samsara. The innate ignorance is the afflictive occupation. The rest of the school, Charvaka, Pratika Buddha, no need to realize emptiness. They realize selflessness, gross emptiness, you can call. They can achieve liberation, not Buddhahood. In order to achieve Buddhahood, then plus and selflessness plus, they need to realize emptiness. So here you need to know the two different views, two different kind of tradition. So we follow Madhyamaka, particularly Pasangika. So for us, Charvaka Buddha, Pratika Buddha, Bodhisattva, all must realize emptiness. That means we want to achieve happiness, liberation. We don't want suffering. Therefore, we need to realize emptiness. The emptiness is same, which is realized by Bodhisattva, realized by Buddha, realized by Charvaka, so exactly same. Is okay? Quite clear? Okay, next question, please.
Brother Shukim, please unmute yourself.
Hi, Geshe-la. Thank you.
Okay? with my question?
My question is, when the Prasangika realize like the object of negation, and they meditate on it, eventually, when they have a realization of it, what appears to them is complete emptiness, nothingness.
No.
Right? I mean, wait. So my question is, at that point in time when they see emptiness, merely existing self does not come true, you know. So is it a case of over-negation or not? Is it because they do not identify the object of negation correctly, so there's over-negation, so the mere I doesn't even appear?
I think you are mixing few things. What is your exact question?
My exact question is the
When
way
you realize emptiness, then when
when they realize emptiness, emptiness of the object of negation, there's emptiness itself is experienced.
The first sentence, can you repeat when Bodhisattva realize
emptiness
of what?
Object of negation, object of negation.
Object of
negation. Of this object of negation, only emptiness appears to them.
I think you should not say this way. If you want to say, you say when the Bodhisattva realize empty of negation. Because object of emptiness means the object which is empty of negation. They cannot realize emptiness of the object of negation. Because object of negation is not existent phenomena. How they can realize emptiness of the object of negation? You must say, when they realize emptiness of the negation, that means the phenomena empty of object of negation. I think still you need to fix the sentence.
Okay, so when they realize the emptiness of negation, okay, what appears to them is emptiness, right?
Yeah.
At that point in time. So the merely existing self does not appear. What I'm saying is that.
Let's say today, right now, you and me both, when we realize emptiness of the object of negation, right, empty of the negation, then we just refute the negation based on one phenomena. When we refute the negation based on one phenomena, we negate the negation for what thing appear to us, or the direct perception is okay. From the direct perception can see the object like cup and book, but the conceptual mind just can perceive the empty of the negation, not the object. Not the object. They can just see object of the negate. They can see only emptiness, not the object. For example, do you remember there's a very nice analogy? If somebody asks you, do you eat meat? Then you said, no, I don't. What the person can understand? The person just only understood, oh, you are not eating meat. The person not really understand, oh, he's not eating meat, but he's eating a cheese. No. You just refute, saying not taking meat. The person just understands only stop it, not eating meat. Indirectly, the person not going to understand you are taking something else. Therefore, when you analyze a phenomena and refute the object of negation, for you, the object just appear to you as an empty or independent. empty of independent, the conceptual mind. As consciousness, you can see the like cup books. The conceptual consciousness can perceive only emptiness of the cup, not the cup, not the cup, not the nothingness. Empty of. Therefore, also you can study about the recognizing the mother, right? Not find the father. Actually, it is the mother. Like there's a nice sentence. Still, I think you need to read the Lamrim or Madhyamaka more precisely.
Okay.
Yeah. Next question, please.
Next question from the chat room. The question is, merely existing self, it is a conventional truth or ultimate truth? Merely existing self, is it a conventional truth or ultimate truth?
It's a conventional truth, not the ultimate truth. The ultimate truth and conventional truth are look like 1.2 sides. Merely existent, merely depending on causes conditions are conventional truth. Based on merely existent, then you can establish emptiness. Right? Therefore, merely existent is not ultimate, is a conventional truth. Conventional truth. Without the conventional, when you say, conventional truth, emptiness is like 1.2 side, you cannot really make a separate. Oh, this is conventional side, this ultimate side. The conventional phenomena not exist independently, truly empty of independent is the ultimate truth. Conventionally existent is the merely existent is a conventional truth, not ultimate truth. Yes.
The next question is, objects of wisdom realizing emptiness can only be a non-affirming negative. Is it correct? Object of wisdom realizing emptiness can only be a non-affirming negative. Is it correct?
The wisdom which realized object of emptiness is the wisdom, is the mind, is the consciousness, right? This consciousness. The wisdom, neither affirmative nor, what is the second one? Affirmative and non-affirmative, right?
I think so.
Yeah. The wisdom which realizes emptiness is not none of them. It's the established phenomena. So do you remember the first they are true, established and negative phenomena. Within the negative, there's a true. Right? The wisdom is neither any of the negative phenomena. It's an established phenomena. Then if you say impermanence of the wisdom is the negative phenomena or established phenomena, then I will say it's the negative phenomena. The wisdom itself is established phenomena, not the negative phenomena. Also, it's not for me, I always feel it's not the correct translation to translate that way. This one, I think, after a few classes, then we will study for a little bit about the negative phenomena. It's become more clear.
Geshe-la, there's a correction from the question. The person says, the objects realized by wisdom, the objects realized by the wisdom of emptiness, is it a non-affirming negative? This is the correction of the question.
Okay, the object
realized by wisdom of emptiness, can it only be a non-affirming negative?
This is a non, I think it's affirmative phenomena. This is why I need to check the English words. So directly you are saying the object which is realized wisdom.
The object realized by the emptiness, the wisdom of emptiness, the object realized by the wisdom of emptiness. That object itself,
Yeah.
is it a non-affirming negative?
Yes, I think so this one I need to check, make sure I don't want to confuse the affirmative. There's a true. Can you tell me what are the two? Affirmative and non-affirmative, right?
Yes, Geshe-la, according to the Buddhist philosophy books, is using but in the Buddhist the Buddhist Science and Philosophy, that book is using the other term. It says indicative and non-indicative phenomena.
This is much better than the, anyway, there's a two kinds of the negative phenomena, affirmative, non-affirmative. So the object which is realized emptiness of the wisdom, that the object is the affirmative, not the non-affirmative. More clearly, I want to say in Tibetan, there's a two kinds of gapa, manga, mainga. Manga means affirmative, non-affirmative is a mainga. So emptiness or the object which realizes emptiness of the wisdom is a manga, mean affirmative, not mainga, not non-affirmative. And also there's a different view from in Tibetan master. Some of the Nyingma Kagyu master said emptiness must be non-affirmative. But Lama Tsong-kha-pa very much emphasized emptiness must be, affirmative, not non-affirmative phenomena. This one I think many of students is very new, so we will study after 2 or 3 classes later. Okay, next question, please.
The next question is from Hui Cheng. The question is, which comes first, realizations of the selflessness of person or realizations of the selflessness of phenomena? Between these two, which one comes first?
Yes, there's two different, I think, view based on Lama Tsong-kha-pa himself. How arise the true ignorance, right? Therefore, the ignorance of the phenomena arise, ignorance of the self. Therefore, this one you asked, I think, a few months ago. When we think about cause and effect, the ignorance of the self is the effect. Ignorance of the 5 aggregates is the cause. 5 aggregates of the ignorant cause to arise ignorance of the self. When you realize the true emptiness, emptiness of the phenomena, emptiness of the self, you must realize emptiness of the self, then emptiness of the phenomena. Clear? Then there some masters said, without realizing emptiness of phenomena, you cannot realize emptiness of the self. This one you must say, without realizing emptiness of the 5 aggregates, you cannot completely realize emptiness of the self. Not really say, perfect. In order to realize emptiness of self perfectly, then second, you need to realize emptiness of the phenomena, then you will realize emptiness of the self perfectly, completely. Then you need to add the completely. Realizing way, first realizing emptiness of the self, then realize emptiness of the phenomena or 5 aggregates. Yes, I think you asked this question last time too, right? I remember your question. I don't think you remember my answer.
No, I think I wasn't in that class. I didn't ask this question previously.
Okay. Quite clear? My answer is quite clear or no?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is clear. Thank you very much. Okay,
thank you. Next question. I will take one question.
There's no more question from the chat room.
Okay, very good. This means almost 4:35. So as a Vesak month, also in the, I think, second day of the His Holiness teaching for the deceived students, and somebody, he asked to generate bodhicitta. Then end of the teaching, I think all of you listened very well. He said, due to the pandemic, there's so many problems, so many sick people, there's so danger to affect this coronavirus. Then he said, so everybody who are Buddhist, particularly the people who live around Himalaya, like Ladakhi, Tibetan, Mongolian, they must recite the Thara mantra. He said, there's a hope to benefit by reciting Thara mantra. His Holiness himself, he recited maybe a few hundred Thara mantra to benefit those people who are sick, those people who danger to sick, the COVID. After that, he recites, a few hundred, to benefit himself. Therefore, today also we have a little time as a Vesak month. So please everybody visualize the green Thara in front of you on the lotus flower. On the lotus flower, visualize the full moon. Very fresh, beautiful lotus flower. White color. It will be rare with the red colors. Above, we visualize the full moon. Very beautiful, completely full moon. Above the moon, please visualize the sixth-level drum. We just visualize TAM, drum. Then the sixth level manifests as a green Thara. And you, your families, friends, all sentient beings visualize just, below the Thara, under the Thara. And fold your hands together. So repeat after me the four sentences to pray to Thara. Poda lai necho ne.
Polo nai nejo ne.
Tami jangu yemba bo. Tami ogi drowa tru. Dorma korje sheso sol. Ladan lami chubenji. Jagi pema ladu de. Pongba gunle tronze ma. Dema yumla cha cha lo. Om chumden dema. Lamo turma la cha che lo. Cha che truma tare fal mo. Tuda rai jiye selma. Ture nawa namlen drama. Soa yike peni hungi. Soa yike chela ramdi. Dare du dare dure so. 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 Ha. Dare du dare dure so. 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 Om Tare Ture So Giri Tunda Gyojo Jiwata Mitu Nepen Gedanda Wat Loba Jumje Punson So Jube Tashe De Yandan De Dere Shigyaza Jiwat Mitu Nepen Nedanda Watan Tumba Jumje Punson So Jube Tashe De Yandan De Dere So Jide Yambe Yagan Je Do Mine Chune Zaza Zaza Madhu Muge Guba Gujen, Sireneme de Yedemo. Please dedicate the merit of becoming Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Also dedicate the merit to benefit all sentient beings, particularly the beings who are sick, the beings who has a lot of sufferings and problems, particularly dedicate the merit to benefit all the supporters of Tibetan Buddhist Center. Last, we dedicate all the merit to benefit all the doctors and nurses who work for tirelessly to protect the people from COVID, to able to cure the COVID disease and sickness. Okay, thank you so much. Have a happy Saturday. And every day, please do your chanting, recitation practice. Thank you. Have a good time.